So, quick one before we jump into today's episode. So, it's interesting, a big percentage of people who listen to the show aren't actually subscribed. So, if you're getting real value from these conversations, hit subscribe because if you believe in building something better for your family, your future, your team, this is what we're about. This isn't surface level conversations. We're talking to people who are actually in it, building businesses, solving real problems, and actually taking real risk. And the goal is simple: give you something you can take and actually apply it to your life. And the more that this thing grows, the better guests, better conversations, and more real value we can actually bring to you. So if that's the path that you're on, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe. Let's keep building. And all right, let's get into it. By far, I'm definitely a better money raiser.
In what universe?
This one, I
In what way? Explain.
I am the one who puts it all together. The text we send, the
Oh yeah, you're
pitch
definitely the
deck.
best organizer of raising money, but
Yeah.
who actually brings in the
Yeah,
money?
because I put
Right
it
here.
all together and I keep track, and I'm the one that's sending the text, "Hey, where's everybody at? Da 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 da."
Yeah, and then when I finally start raising money because I'm busy doing other things like getting financing ready, whatever, then who comes in and it's like bam, 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 show me the money.
Welcome back to the podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. So I got my partner in business and in life, Marissa, here with me today again. And we're going to start with some rapid fire questions about each other. And then we're going to get into what it actually looks behind the scenes, not on the podcast, about building a business together. The good, the bad, the stressful, all of it. And people see the outside, the deals, the growth, but they don't see what it actually really takes. So today we're getting into it. Marissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome to you too as well, Danny. Always glad to be back here in the booth with you.
Thank you.
So for today, there are a couple rules I'd like to set for this.
Okay.
I'm going to call this somewhat of a couples therapy session here. We're going to dive deep into what it's truly like to work with your husband, business partner, all of that, okay? This is true, okay? So don't sugarcoat it. Let's be honest and raw. When we answer these questions, which neither one of us know each other's answers to, and let's see what happens.
All right.
I'm excited. Can't wait to see all the wonderful things you have to say about working with your wonderful wife, me.
Always good things to say about you. All right, so let's get started. So this should be easy. We're gonna ease into it, and then we'll get into I don't know, maybe the more controversial questions.
Yes.
Here shortly. So,
all right.
Number one question.
Okay.
Who is more easygoing?
Me, 100%.
And
what is your answer?
Me, 100%.
Oh, you think you're more easygoing than me?
Yeah, in certain ways.
Okay.
So
in what way?
What way am I more easygoing?
Yeah.
Let's just say I tend to not get into or I don't have as much conflict with other people. I tend to let things roll off my back.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Conflict. Who do I have conflict?
Mm-hmm.
I am very direct.
Direct. Oh, direct instead of
Okay.
conflict. Okay.
Yes. It's called being efficient with your time.
Mm-hmm.
When you are a working mom, you have to be efficient with your time. And sometimes you just have to tell people how it is so then they can do things correctly.
Okay. Fair
So,
enough.
but I think I'm way more easygoing. I have way more patience.
Patience, yes. The question was easygoing, though.
You have to have patience to be easygoing.
Yeah.
Just because you are an amiable and I am a driver analytical does not mean it's just different communication styles, is what I would say.
All right. So I guess we'll agree to disagree on this
Agree to
one.
disagree. Okay.
Moving on.
Yes.
Okay. So who is better at attention to detail? And this is my turn to answer first.
Okay.
Okay. I would have to say Marissa is definitely better at attention to detail. I mean, she is the one analyzing the deal. And I'm out there just after we get the business plan, I'm executing. But in order to get to that point, we have to have a pretty stringent, strict business plan, and it all has to go well.
Yes. And you want to know why? Because I work in the 21st century with what's called Excel and actual spreadsheets. And what do you do to keep track of all your stuff? You have a clipboard that you walk around and you write all over it. That's not even like in any sort of like actual like method. And then you like circle things on it
That's
when
for
they're done.
today. That's called my daily planner, okay? The circle and the circle ones are for like that's got to get done today.
Oh, that's how it is. So how do you know when you've done something on your daily planner?
Simple, cross it off.
Oh my gosh.
So
I think that's why the attention to detail is a little bit easier for me because I use, technology, Mr. AI. Okay.
And I do use Excel also. All right.
Not well, but yes, you do.
What is the other person's, and you'll answer this first, what is the other person's favorite part of the business?
Your favorite part of the business is raising money.
No.
Oh, no? Okay. All right. What did you say mine was?
Your favorite part of the business is obviously analyzing deals.
No, wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's raising money.
What's yours? It's definitely not analyzing the deals.
Mine is actually like going to the initial property inspection before we get the deal. And once we actually have the deal, like that's the
So walking the property?
No, not walking it, but when we actually like sign a contract and we're like, yes, we got this deal.
So like inspection day?
No.
Before inspection day?
I said walking the property. Okay.
How many times do you walk in the properties? You're like a little stalker of the properties?
That's the first thing that we do. Like,
yeah, before we get into contract.
Nick sends me this is okay. Nick sends the deal.
Okay.
And then I go look at it.
I run the numbers.
And then we run the numbers. And then when we get the signed contract, that's my favorite part of the deal.
Oh, getting the signed contract.
Yeah. So it's like the chase.
I thought you were saying you walked it again after.
No, not walking it.
Well, you didn't say that very clearly. Yeah. So I'm just trying to understand. Just breaking down what you're putting down.
Okay.
So your favorite is getting into escrow.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Your turn to answer first.
Okay.
What is this is definitely probably have different answers. Who's better at raising money?
Okay. We all know who is better at raising money.
Who?
Who is more efficient and gets it done quicker? Right here. All day long. All day long.
I definitely agree.
And who raises the most money?
No.
Without you stealing people that are my investors and trying to claim them as yours on the spreadsheet.
Yeah. By far, I'm definitely a better money raiser.
In what universe?
This one. I
In what way? Explain.
I am the one who like puts it all together. The text we send, the the
Oh, yeah, you're
pitch
definitely the
deck.
best organizer of raising money, but
Yeah.
who actually brings in the
Yeah,
money?
because I put
Right
it
here.
all together and I keep track, and I'm the ones that's like sending the text, "Hey, where's everybody at? Da 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 da."
Yeah, and then when I finally start raising money because I'm busy doing other things, like
Mm,
getting financing ready, whatever, then who comes in and it's like, bam, bam,
mm.
bam, show me the money right here.
Whatever. Agree to disagree again.
Well, you know that I'm just better at it.
Okay, my turn to answer. Who's bossier? And that's simple. Marissa Buss is definitely bossier. She is always the one that, I don't know, if we have a problem, she's like, "This is what we're doing, okay? This is how we're handling it." You're definitely bossier.
Well, yeah, because I know how to handle it. I mean, someone's gotta
Mm.
be the ultimate decision maker and being like, "This is the proper protocol." I just look, you fought fires for many years, I've been in real estate for many years.
Oh, that's
So,
why.
of course, I'm going to be able to answer things more directly and say that we should
Okay.
move this route.
Oh, because you have more real estate experience, you're saying.
Well, that and I like to think that I'm less emotional in my decisions and more common sense.
Mm. I got a lot of common sense too. All right.
Yes, but you're more emotional. So that's why I have to then go, no, let's just do this, this, and this. Let me respond, not you go, are you freaking kidding me? You're not coming to work today? I'm like,
Hey,
that is not the response we want
one thing
to our
one
employees.
thing I'm working on, and I think I read it somewhere or listened to it, coming from, instead of an emotional response, a logical response.
Yes.
So
Yes.
working on that. All right. Who answered that first? Me? Your turn?
Yes.
Okay. What's one thing? Now we're getting into the,
Now we're getting real.
yeah.
Okay.
What's one thing that annoys you that your partner does in the business?
This is easy, and you did it today. Takes our once a week weekly meeting in his car, on Zoom, driving, or walking around a property. Like, we literally meet once a week. And we need to just go over things. And your ADH self cannot just sit there for like a half an hour to an hour and pay attention to the call.
Well, I think, did we have this one scheduled?
We had to move it because
See,
you were at the
that's
fire
why.
station.
So you scheduled incorrectly.
No, I always put it out there and say, does 11 o'clock work? And then you did say on this one, I will give you that, I will be driving.
No, you booked the first one when I was at the station.
The first one's a standing call. It's
So-
booked every week the same day and time.
Oh, well, that doesn't obviously work because I don't have the same week and time off every day. So you said, "Hey, does this work?" And I said, "Yes, I will be driving, but yes."
Yes, and we managed even though we couldn't hear you half the time.
Yeah. That was
And
kinda
you were
annoying.
sharing something pretty important that
Yeah.
was going to improve the business greatly, and yet you were cutting out every 5 minutes,
Yeah.
making it rather difficult to understand exactly the
Well,
capabilities.
how about this? I'll work on the schedule that I can be at the computer,
Or just
distraction-free.
stationary, just
Yeah.
like they're in your truck.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of places to be and people to see. So one thing that annoys me about what my partner does as business is sticks her head into things that I handle, like maintenance or construction, and has to give her 2 cents. And I would say I do that also, but less often.
Okay, and so you say this, yet then we need to go walk a building with our contractor. You're going to be at the fire station that day, and you're like, well, you just go do it. So don't act like
That happened like
I
once.
don't add value to
I never
what
said
needs
that.
to be done.
I
So
never
I'm
s-
not sticking my head in if I'm invited.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
anyways, glad we got that out in the air.
Also, I try not to get involved in your maintenance and
Mm.
construction because it's boring.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So my turn to answer. Who is more creative? I would
You're looking at me like you're supposed to answer.
yeah, I mean, in certain ways, I would say I am more creative because I actually like am up on like the 20th century and use AI and figure things out. And I'm trying to figure out ways to, like the call we had that is going to just totally change how we handle maintenance with AI involved. So I'm going to give that one to me. I am definitely more creative.
And I would agree.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I think you are more creative in ways, and then I just have to come in and like help you help guide.
Because I get a little too creative.
No, you like bring up things, and then I'm like, well, but how does that work in our business?
Mhm.
And then we're like, well, we could implement it this way or that way. But yeah, I mean, I was very creative in the original design of every single unit, but now that's done.
Yeah.
And
No,
then I kind of do that like curb appeal and exteriors
yeah.
of the buildings now. But as
I
far as like creative business wise, I
yeah.
think that um you definitely see like are able, but then if you think about underwriting, I'm pretty damn creative in underwriting
Yeah, from the
and figuring out.
from the spreadsheet Vinny gave you. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, well, figuring out how that building could
I
work
know.
and how we could
Yeah.
actually buy it. And I mean, there's a lot of creativity in
Yeah.
that of
I would
like
agree. I
trying to figure out how many ADUs and does it make sense with how much construction costs and are you going to be able to rent them out and have it all
yeah.
compute and then be able to refi out.
Yeah. No, and I would say like your creative side, obviously when people are asking me for design or whatever, like that's not my forte. So you
I
and
think we're actually kind of both. When now that we're
yeah,
talking about
and
it, let's be honest.
yeah, in certain different aspects.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
All right.
Agree.
Wow, we agreed on one. Okay.
I thought we agreed on 2.
Yeah, that's true. All right. What's your favorite work trait about your partner?
My favorite one, hold on, I have to
This
look at
should
my
be
answers.
easy.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. I just want to make sure and see what I wrote down first. So my favorite trait about you is also the trait that drives me the most crazy. And that is your tenacity to go after things 110% because sometimes I'm not ready
Yeah.
to go after something 110%, and then you push me out of my comfort zone. So, and then it is like when we're raising money and you are like very annoying with your tenacity of like, hey, are you going to start raising money? And it's like, yes, I'm going to start eventually. And you know that I'm going to outraise everyone in 2 days. So like, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
But so anyway, so it's my favorite part of you. And yet still it drives me a little nuts.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So mine is that because what you do for the business is, I mean, if you don't analyze it correctly or, do the business model, get the right loan, this and that, like that's a huge piece of our success.
Yeah.
So my favorite part is that I don't have to like think about that.
So you don't have to be stressed out that if it all goes wrong, it was because
Yeah.
of you. Yeah.
And that I have full faith and trust that, you've done your due diligence, you've ran through the models. And that's what's nice. I mean, I think in the beginning we would both like I obviously look at the spreadsheets when it's done, but we would go through it together and like see if we're missing anything, this and that. And that's like which I love about one of our partners, Doug. Like we can talk to him.
Yeah, he's an analytical, so
Yeah,
it's fun.
and you guys can go back and forth, and he's an investor, and he really looks at it as an investor's point of view.
Yep.
So yeah, it's nice to have that with both you guys.
Yeah. No, it definitely helps the deals when you know that they're going to work out.
Yeah. Okay. And so far they are. And we just got 2 applications on herbs, right?
Yeah, and 2 on Edgewood.
That's so great. That's
Yep.
so great.
Sometimes you get a lull and then the
Yeah, it's
tenants come in.
that stresses me out more than anything is
I
like,
know, you're like a little stress case over
yeah,
there.
but it's all, some things just take time.
Yes.
So,
When you've been in real estate a long time, you know that.
yeah. What did you used to say? I don't know if you made it up or whatever, but there's no emergencies in real estate.
Yeah, we're not saving lives.
Yeah, except, in maintenance there are. All right, this one's kind of fun. What is your favorite part about working with your spouse? I think it's my turn.
Okay.
Um, my favorite part about working with my spouse is being building something together. Like, I still haven't seen it where there's a combo like you and I where, you know, where we're both so heavily involved in the business, and, like, you have your specialties, I have mine, but it's really cool to, be able to, like, both be on, like, the same page
Mhm.
with that, you
Well,
know?
and from the ground up,
Yeah.
because a lot of times you'll see it, but then, like,
Yeah.
somebody started the business and then the
Right.
other person started working it, but, like, we literally started
Yeah.
from day one,
Yeah.
us.
So, I would say that's my favorite part, and that we have alignment in that.
Mhm.
Um, so, we have, and sometimes it gets a lot where you're like, "Oh, I don't wanna talk about business right now." But it's cool to build something that we're building, for our kids, and, that we're really just so aligned because the ultimate goal, is building something for us, and then, of course, for our kids to eventually take over.
Yes, and I think that, for me, I would say that it gives us depth in our relationship that I think some couples don't have because, when we were younger, we were just partying and you were a firefighter and I was in real estate and we
Yeah.
were just having a good time. And then we had kids, and then your conversations mostly are around children and did they poop today and what did they eat, literally for years.
Yeah.
And then now, the kids are older and what have you, and they're a total mind game, being in middle school and
Yeah.
in almost high school now. And so I feel like this gives us something to talk about that is like, in a way, our other child. Like, it's like our third child now that's come about that we're like
Yeah.
nurturing and watching grow together. And luckily, we just don't have to, well, once in a while, we do, but talk about poop with it as much. It's just talking about the growth and, what's happening with it. So that's what I love about it is that, I mean, otherwise, like, I always say I'm the worst fire wife ever because I don't like really hearing about the gruesome calls and the sad things that you go on, you
Yeah.
know? And it's slightly terrifying watching the videos of you being on a wildfire and having like fire coming up from both sides and driving a fire truck through and all this smoke. And I'm like, oh, great, honey. So glad you're in Napa. Looks beautiful this time of year. It's like, this
Yeah.
is a little intense for everyone. And I'm just sitting there with like, my stomach just in knots, like, "Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so glad you're on a fire." So, no, I think this is just it's really fun, and I'm so happy that I get to do it with you,
I agree.
despite you taking Zoom calls in your car.
So what is the hardest part, about working together as a couple?
So, for me, it is sometimes that or no, I will say the hardest part is when it just doesn't turn off. And I think we're getting better about it, now with our, like, watching TV shows and, like, things at night, but, like, I will say, like, when I wake up in the morning and he wakes up before me and he is sitting at the end of the kitchen aisle and I come out and I'm just trying to make my cup of coffee and drink my damn Metamucil, and he is like, "Do you know what the return is on da da da?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know what the fricking return is. I haven't even had a damn cup of coffee. Like, give me a minute." Or at night when it's like we're eating dinner and I'm just trying to shut off and it's like, "So did you see the email from da da da?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't. What did it say now?" Like, now I have to look. and I was trying not to look until
Yeah.
tomorrow morning. So I would say that's what it is for me.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. It's that sometimes it's hard to turn off and like talk about other things or not make every conversation about GeoLiv or live property management.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say the hardest part is that because in this business it's always on. There's no we're on vacation, we're on
Yeah, we're in Mammoth, and I'm like, "Are you going
yeah,
to get off your phone? Like, we're trying to, like,
yeah,
snowboard down this mountain."
yeah.
Like,
No, I know. I was
yeah,
getting off the lift and I'm like texting a tenant or
yeah.
so that's hard is like that it's always what do people say? Oh, real estate's passive. Well, I have never seen that side of it. Maybe eventually it's passive when you're
They should invest in a REIT. That's passive.
yeah. So, what's one thing that you wish I did better in business?
Well, funny, it kinda segues nicely. Delegate.
Mm.
I feel like you are a micromanager, which I hate to be micromanaged, which luckily you don't manage me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are like, I want to give up this on maintenance, but wait, we're doing construction there. So like you need to call me though if something needs to be done there, because then I might have the plumber who's working there go there. And it's like, no, just let them do it. Like stop getting your little paws and everything. So that's one thing I would say for you. And that's
Micro.
why you are on your phone constantly because, in my opinion, you're way too involved in
Mm,
things that I think we have we're very blessed to have employees that can handle it.
mm.
And you got to just let go and let God with them sometimes, Danny.
Yeah. No, I mean, trust me, I don't like to micro, and that is something that I'm definitely working on, is not being such a micro. But when you have so much at stake and, people are counting on you to perform, it's really hard to let go, and give that to someone else because you're like or I guess in my mind, like, no one cares as much besides you about this business as much as I do.
You know what I think it is that you come from literally saving lives. And I come from, like, real estate where I'm always like, "It's really not that big of a
It's
deal.
gonna work
Nothing's"
out.
like, it always there's always so many problems in
Yeah,
things, and really my job is just to try and make it as smooth as possible for my
yeah.
client, right? But you literally come from a career where you run in to save people in some of their worst moments, and I just wanna let you know that a maintenance issue on our apartment building is not that.
Yeah,
They may act like it, I'm not gonna lie. Some of these tenants
yeah,
act like it's the worst moment in their life
I know.
for this maintenance issue, but it's really not. So, I think that's where you come in with that intensity because that's the world you came from.
Yeah. For me, one thing that something I wish, that you did better
Oh, I
in
forgot. You
business
get to talk about me now.
yeah,
Nothing?
is you wish, is that you, like, have so much going on. I mean, this is, like, chili cook-off season, and I know it's, like, I can't talk to you about certain things, and so, I I guess wish you did better is, like, maybe not take on the whole world at the same time and allow us to focus on, the mission at hand instead of, like, Rotary, chili cook-off. Oh, yeah, I'm an elected official. Oh, I got this meeting, that meeting.
We also have these small people in our lives called children
Yeah, they're
that yeah, yesterday I was thinking about that. I drove around yesterday from 4:10 to literally 6:45 just in my car driving back and forth between picking up and dropping
yeah,
off children,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So,
Well, I don't fault them. They're allowed to be a nuisance or whatever you wanna call it.
no, it's my time with them. I mean, come on.
No, I know, they say that, they're like, because 'cause they're off with their friends or whatever, like, your time in the car now is, like, your quality time.
That is my quality time with my
Yeah,
children.
yeah.
Yep.
How about this? This is a good one. How do we make big decisions when we don't agree? My turn. So how do we make big decisions when we don't agree?
I'm pretty sure you went first last time.
Okay. No, I said, what do I
Oh, no, I did.
wish you
All
did
right,
better in
fine.
business? Yeah. So
Go
how
ahead.
do we make big decisions when we don't agree? I would say most of the time we're like pretty aligned on big decisions. But when we don't agree, I think that we bring in our general partners and let them weigh in, because sometimes we do have differing opinions. And
Yes, you go and tell on me
yeah,
to the GPs is what I feel like.
yeah,
100%. You are like a little tattletale to them to try and get them on your
yeah,
side. But, I think we should institute a new rule. I think we should either arm wrestle or thumb war it
mhm.
out. And
You
whoever wins that,
you got better chances at the thumb wrestle.
yeah. No, I
So
realize this.
we'll do that.
Sun's out, guns out over there. No, I feel like when things come up, it's just I just slowly wait and build my case and then decide if I really care or not
Yeah,
is really what it comes down to.
yeah,
And if it's something I'm willing to die on the hill for,
yeah.
then I go full force and I'm like, no, this is the way it needs to be done.
So what is your answer to this question? How do we make
I
big
don't
decisions
I
when we
don't
don't
feel
agree?
like when we don't agree,
Yeah,
I just persuade you eventually if it's something I really care about.
yeah.
And I'm usually right at that point. And if
Mm,
it's something I really don't care about, but just was like kind of butting my head into and like was like, oh, what are we doing? What are you saying over there? Huh? What's going on? And then
yeah,
I'll be like, oh, yeah, I don't really care about that. You can
yeah,
do whatever you want.
yeah.
So, yeah, luckily, I don't think we really have a whole
No,
lot of that because we do have very separate aspects of work. And it's more just asking each other's opinions and
yeah,
what do you think about this and this? And then it's like, oh, I would do this one instead of that one. And
yeah,
that's more what it comes down to
yeah,
usually. It's usually you asking me something about construction, like, okay, so this is going to cost this, or this, we could do it this way, and it's going to be this. And it's like, well, then do the other way. Then it
yeah,
sounds better. And as long as it's a similar product and finish and accomplishes the goal,
yeah.
sweet.
So it's not really a negative. It's more like, we kind of just come together and
I mean, we've been
figure.
together 21 years. Like, it's a long time.
Yeah.
So, obviously we didn't arm wrestle our whole way through this. We could go to full wrestling though, and I could hip toss you again.
Okay.
Yep, I could get my singlet out.
Yeah. You can all dream. Okay. So have we ever had a moment where the business almost affected our relationship, and what happened?
So I think our hardest part in the business for like to today's date was when we closed on Edgewood and Surfside. And then literally 3 months later, you're like, hey, this building's coming on, underwrite this. And then we closed on Herbs. And that was like such a debacle because we went from, we literally bought in that, and then we bought Warwick. So literally in trailing 12 months, we bought $30 million worth of real estate, and the catch up with property management and trying
Yeah.
to figure out like what is going on, that was like really hard, because it was just like, wait, we're just getting situated with these brand new 18 unit and 15 unit building. Then we add a 26 unit building into it. Oh, and then on top of it, let's get a 36 just for fun.
Yeah.
So that was where I think we were all just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, like it was just hard to catch your breath.
Yeah. I don't like when this question, I wrote it down. I'm like, there's never been a time where it's affected our relationship. Like nothing's been that significant.
No, there's just nights where I'm like, just don't talk to me. I don't want to talk about anything
Yeah.
else to do
No,
with work.
and that, I think that's it too, is it's just that whatever it is, we just keep on.
We ignore it for that evening and then
Yeah.
go after
It is
the
what it
next
is.
day.
Like yeah, we're
Yeah.
both very like reasonable, and we both have common sense. So we don't let the business affect our relationship. If anything, it's strengthened it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just don't lay you for a while if I'm really mad.
That is not fair to hold that over me.
No, it's just, it stressed me out too much. I'm not in the mood.
All right. Well, let's get into some of our favorite people, our tenants.
Oh, I love them.
I know.
I call them our clients, but yes,
Yeah.
if I say that, people won't understand. I mean my tenants.
So what is the craziest tenant situation that we've ever dealt with?
I mean, we've had a few for sure.
Oh, yeah, I just had one.
Yeah, we just had one. I will say though, I think the craziest one that I had to deal with was which when you rent from fire captains, tenants should know. So we always put cameras on all of our buildings, and one of our partners, Chad, fire captain, and he sees, cops are at our building.
Oh,
What's going on here?
yeah.
And he looks at the 911 calls for Ventura County because he's a firefighter in Ventura County, so you
Yeah.
can see them all. And he's like, stabbing, 26-year-old male. And then he sends us a screenshot
Yeah.
and is like, and we're like, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then I text and I'm like, I know who that's got to be.
Yeah.
And then I text and find out, oh, sweet. Like you guys had the fire pit out that I told you weren't allowed to have out. We're all drinking and got drunk around it. You got people who don't even live there hanging out around the fire pit that's not supposed to be there. And then what happens? But one of them stabs the other one. I'm like, seriously, guys?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just feel like you're like a mother to all of them.
Yeah.
We're just like, okay, kids, if we can't play nice, and I told you not to use the fire pit ever again on the property.
Right.
So I will say for me, that was probably one of the
No, that
craziest.
was. And luckily they're gone.
Yeah.
I think mine was what I just dealt with a couple days ago. And we had a tenant who was causing all sorts of problems. Police were coming. Upstairs unit, the downstairs unit, the guy, one of our favorite tenants, had been there 30 years, and he's always complaining about the noise, people coming in and out. And then I think they were behind on their rent, and
No, they paid their rent every month on time. They moved out.
Right. But they were illegally subletting or having people that weren't on the lease live there.
Yeah, without our knowledge. And
Yeah.
when we asked.
Yeah. So when we asked,
we considered the property abandoned.
yeah. So then partner Chad changes the locks.
Right.
That next day they go in and or that night they tried to go in, and actually you didn't see it, but they tried to manipulate the lock, which didn't work. And so the next day, Chad and I had to go there because there were still a few things that were left in there, and we had to call the police to have them be there, and just in case they showed up. And we had gotten most of the stuff out, and there was one couch left, and the tenant shows up, and she's like, "What are you doing? Touching my stuff, this and that."
Well, the illegal. She wasn't actually our tenant.
Oh yeah, not the tenant, the illegal person squatting pretty much.
Yeah.
And so she tries to walk up the stairs. Chad was in there. I locked the door. I go, "Don't let her in." Cops down there, and I'm like, "Get this lady off our property. Like, we don't want her here." And he's like, "Well, I can't really force her out. There's not a gate around the community. It's kind of this is a civil issue." Anyways, she kept ranting and raving to the cops, saying, my lawyer's gonna come, this and that. And finally by the end she ended up leaving, and then the person who was on the lease showed up, and the cops like, "Do you want him to move the last of your couch out? Otherwise they're gonna leave it there until this legal battle gets taken care of." He's like, "Yeah, take it out." And then we ended up putting their stuff under a carport, nice and neat. And the cops were, and actually we finally got to talk to the cops after, and they actually said, they're like, "Camera's off now." He's like, "I can't stand people like that, just trying to get one over, doing things illegally." And I was giving good advice to the guy. I go, "If you want to go through this and go have an eviction on your record."
At 22 years old.
And the cop was like, "He's giving you good advice. You should probably listen to him."
You already left.
Yeah.
You need to, it is what it is. Yeah, that was an intense situation. I always love it when I get a text and it says, "Sergeant so-and-so at 9:15 at night. I need you to call me."
Yeah.
I was like,
So
oh.
yeah, that's the passive side of real
Yeah,
estate.
it's so passive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Maybe eventually it will be.
I mean, it's passive for our limited partners and people who invest with us.
Yeah.
They don't have to deal with all of that.
Nope.
That's the beauty of investing in a syndication versus a REIT, right? Is that you do get the higher returns
Yep.
of a syndication, and which is better than a REIT, and it is passive for them.
Yeah.
They can choose to show up on our quarterly Zoom, or they watch the rerun of it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and read the email.
And they get the full update of all the work that we're doing
Yeah.
to make the project successful.
Yeah.
What's a tenant situation that actually changed how we operate?
Okay, so when we went through our first eviction, I feel like that was like a huge learning process. And what it really taught us is that in the state of California, when you go through an eviction, as most of them are sealed. So the tenant, you never, even when you do a background check and a criminal investigation, all these things, it doesn't show up. So the only way to truly know if a tenant has been evicted for non-payment is to actually do landlord verifications, and not just the last landlord, not the current one, because the current one may not tell you because they're probably not paying there, or they've been trouble there, and they're more likely to not tell you the whole truth, right? So what you want to do is you want to contact the second past landlord. And that's where we really find out, okay, now we know these people they left for non-payment of rent and what
Yeah.
have you. And we have had that now. And we're renting out a lot of units at the moment because we remodeled a whole building. And we have denied 3 tenants in the last 30 days for finding out that they were previously evicted and are still owe rent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's one thing I will say, that it was really, not a fun thing to go through, but it really helped us to be better about making sure to take, slowly. You want to find your tenants slowly because most of the time they're going to live there for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's important to not just take necessarily the first tenant because you want to fill a vacant unit. It's really important, all of the work that you do, verifying their employment, because
Yeah.
why did that first tenant get evicted? Because also they had pay stubs from the base, from the
Yep.
naval base right there. And we did not look at them super carefully because we were like, oh, this is great. You work at the base, and thought that they were upstanding citizens. And then when we went to look as they stopped paying their rent, we realized they had forged them.
Yeah.
And so those were the things that
Yeah.
were taught to us.
Yeah. No, I
Huge
think
lessons.
mine's the same too. And realizing that, I mean, they have it now on TikTok that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can go and purchase like bank statements,
Yep.
your credit card, all these things.
Pay stubs.
Pay stubs, yeah.
IDs.
Yeah, it's like a package.
Yep.
So you really, like, for all the listeners out there that, if you are the one screening Marissa's great advice, you really got to take your time.
Yes.
It's not worth getting a bad tenant because you feel like you need to get it rented. Oh, I'm going to lose a month's rent. It's much worse the latter of having to evict the tenant. And I mean, look how long, it takes.
Especially the sob stories
Mhm.
when they're like, "Oh, I wanna move in, like, this week,
Yep.
and I'm living in a hotel," or this and
Yep.
that, and you're like, those are the ones where I'm a bleeding heart in a lot of ways. Like, he
Yeah.
talks about how I run the chili cook-off. Well, it's because it's a huge charity event, and it raises
Yeah.
money for local nonprofits. Like, why I'm an elected official? Like, well, because I believe in giving back to your community. So I totally have a bleeding heart that people can take advantage of, and it's like, "Oh, I just had to move out because of this and this and this," and then I'm like, "Oh my gosh, let's get them into this unit ASAP so that they have a roof over their head." And then you're like the
Yeah.
ones who end up
Yeah.
getting, in trouble for it because they're not being truthful. And it's better to just take the full amount of time to fully, fully, fully background check them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So
Yeah.
what's and I'll probably answer this one. What's the funniest maintenance request we've ever gotten? Um, I don't know how funny it is, but I was at a tenant's, I was measuring some windows because they requested them be replaced. So I was just inspecting. And mind you, this is a brand new unit that I just spent $65,000 from a full remodel. Bathrooms redone, kitchen cabinets, everything. And all the fixtures are new, all the appliances are new, and like you go in there and they actually keep the place really nice. And I told them that. I go, "We really appreciate you keeping it really nice and neat and all this." And he's like, "Well," and then I go, "Yeah, you had something work order on this fan." And I was like, "Oh, okay, what's going on with the fan?" So he's like, puts it to the highest speed, and he's like, "Do you hear that?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Well, yeah, it's like kinda got a noise." I'm like the wind?" I'm like, "Yeah, I hear that." He's like, "Yeah, it's kinda noisy." I'm like, "Well, you could turn it down to the medium setting and you probably won't get that." And then he's like, "Well, yeah, and it kinda wobbles too." And I was like, "Well, you know, we."
That's a ceiling fan on high.
Yeah. So I was like, uh,
Welcome to ceiling fans and not
yeah,
standing oscillating fans, sir.
yeah. So, tenants can get, oh, this is what it is. So when you that's the thing is when apartments are rented and they're brand new, you expect everything to be perfect,
Yeah.
right? And so they have this vision of like this perfect unit,
Yeah.
and then you sometimes have to educate them and be like, "Look, it's nothing is perfect, but if you compare this to what else is out there when you were looking at apartments, there's probably a reason you chose this one
Yeah.
because it is pretty much brand new."
Well, how about the brand new tenants who move in and obviously have never, ever loaded a dishwasher or lived on their own,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they put a brand new dishwasher and they put liquid dish soap.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, you guys have 800 FICOs. You're making, like, a ton of money. You're
Yeah.
engineers, yet you don't know that you don't put liquid dish soap in a dishwasher."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I told
Oh
him
my
that, he's
gosh.
like, "Well, I'm not sure that's true." I'm like,
Google it.
"Yeah." So
Google it, guy.
I sent
You're an
him
engineer." Oh
the
my gosh.
specs, and it says you can only use, pods or the
Powder.
powder, and so anyways,
I love
so
that
I
he's arguing. It's like, "No, you can." Like,
yeah,
"No, sir, I'm sorry
yeah,
you haven't done your own dishes before,
yeah,
Prince."
and that's the oh, I know, they expect
Oh my gosh.
and then with the tenants that, put all this food down the, drains
Oh, that's another thing.
and grease, so
Oh,
what they don't know is that when the plumber goes to remove whatever the block is, he pulls out the food, he sees the grease. So I said, "This one," 'cause it happened twice in a week. I go, "I'll pay for the first one. You're paying for this second one," and I actually have to remember which maintenance request that was.
oh my gosh.
But Marissa found a solution,
Yep,
a
Semper Scream.
Semper screen.
Yep,
For everybody listening who has apartment buildings,
or any rentals.
yeah, they have these, they make these, screens that screw in, and you can't take them off, and the holes are so fine that food can't get down there. And then the one thing he told me, I go, "What about grease?" He's like, "Well, grease is like cement. It has to have like cement has powder or whatever that is, rocks, and then you have to have water." So he says, since the food doesn't get down because it goes to this granular,
Yeah.
he goes, "The grease can go down even though you don't want them to, but the water will flush it down as long as you don't have food that will clump up to it and create a clot."
Oh,
So we're installing those starting next week in every single building
yes.
because we don't. One of the things I read on the apartment
Association.
association was that we don't. They don't. A lot of apartment buildings don't install the
Garbage disposal.
garbage disposal. And the reason for it is it creates more problems because people are like, oh, I can throw this whole
Chicken down
yeah,
here.
bones, everything. So it ends up creating more problems. And,
Yes.
tenants get used to it. I mean, at the fire stations, we don't even have dishwashers. I mean, we do have,
You have firefighters.
yeah. So we, yeah. You know what they're called? A JMP.
A JMP, what does that say?
Junior Man Provides. He is the dishwasher.
That's why when you're home, I make you do the dishes.
Yeah,
because
I
you
get
know
plenty
what?
of dishwashing.
You get all your days off.
All right, this is Marissa's question.
Oh, okay.
Because she does. Because I'm like, nah, get them out of here. They've had their chances. What's the time we went above and beyond for a tenant, and what happened?
Okay, so I feel like they're all like my children in a way.
Yeah.
And so
And you do a good job at that.
I'm not the type of landlord where if you're late on your rent past the 6th, I'm going to just start with eviction process.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and figure out what's wrong. I'm going to see if it's a temporary solution, issue. And, can we put you on a payment plan? I also work with, luckily, our county has a really amazing program.
Yeah, you've helped a lot of people with it.
Yeah, the Ventura County Homeless Agency. And so it does take several months for me to for them to get approved and for me to get a check for the back owed rent. But I do try to do that as much as possible with people, and they do have to provide all their financials and what have you. So, so I feel like that is going above and beyond for them.
I knew you were going to say that.
We really try to not create homelessness within the population that we can control.
Yeah.
And I get it. These people are mostly all living paycheck to paycheck. And so their cars aren't brand new. And when things happen, they,
an extra expense.
they lose their jobs. It takes them a minute. It's like, okay, fine. Let's spread this out, get back on your feet. And then as long as they do, and they pay the payment plan, as long as they pay that on time, fine. But if you start not paying that and dodging things, then I just hand it over to the lawyer and you're going to get an eviction.
No, and you guys do go above and beyond in that. I don't do the leasing, but you give people chances, payment plans.
I mean, we have tenants who are literally pay their rent weekly because they cannot save up and pay.
Yeah.
And as long as I get my $600 every week from them or whatever it is, then we're like, okay, we just know who they are. I mean, we don't prefer that and we don't want everyone doing that, but we understand that the population that we serve are lower income people.
Yeah.
And it's hard for them right now.
And one thing too, for the listeners out there is that when you do go to court and the judge is there and you show, hey, we sent them to the, homeless liaison to try to get help. We did do a payment plan.
Yeah,
so
they want to see that. They want to see that you tried, especially the payment plan, and then that they 100%, the judges, they do not want to see that you are just like, oh, they didn't pay their rent by the 5th, they're out. They are not going to be in favor of that. So we really try to make sure that everything's done, and we try to help them.
Yeah.
Everybody falls on a hard time once in a while.
Yeah. All right, this is a fun one. What do people not understand about owning 100+ units? I think we're almost up to 160 or...
Yeah, we're at one.
And then we're managing another 35, so we're
over 200 that we manage total with all the single families and all the apartment buildings. I think we kind of hit on it earlier, but I think that it's not a passive business. This is not something that... hey, I'm going to work my full-time job and then have these rentals over here. And this is having a whole nother business. And so that's where I think people think that these people over here do a lot of doctors and dentists, right?
Yeah.
They buy apartment buildings, but then they don't manage them themselves.
Yeah.
So perhaps they get a little bit where
You're still getting phone calls.
But you are, or you're So here's the thing. If you are letting someone manage your buildings and they are not you, and they are not a business you have put in place, and you are not meeting with them once a week at minimum, they're taking advantage of you.
Yeah.
And every single business building I've underwritten,
Right.
I see the theft from the property management company.
Yeah.
So as much as it's like, well, I'm going to buy a building and then these people are going to manage it for me. Well, if you're not meeting with them every Monday and going over every single vacancy, every single rental increase, every single maintenance issue, like what's going on with it. If you don't have those systems in place and those like checks and balances, well, then you're not really going to be getting the true value out of that building because someone's going to
Yeah.
because you're trying to act like it's passive and it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a passive business. If
Yeah.
you want it to be passive, you invest with a syndicator or you invest in a REIT.
Yeah. No, and my answer is very similar. It's that with 100, 200 units now, I mean, the phone is constantly ringing. There's always a problem. There's always something to deal with. And you can't just check out, right? I mean, you can have systems and procedures and people but someone's always got to be there to respond to these problems. And especially when you're buying 1960s vintage
Yeah.
buildings, you have more constant problems. So what people may not understand is that, like Mer said, it's not passive. You can, like, our investors are passive. They own 70% of the buildings and they don't have to deal with the headache. So if you're looking for a passive investment, find a syndicator out there that's investing in real estate
Or invest with us.
yeah. Or you find, where that can be value for you, and find the right one,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of
They're
them
not
out
all
there.
as cool as us or as good looking
True. Well, I agree with you
or
on that.
funny.
All right. What's the biggest mistake that we made early on?
For me, I think it was not understanding financing options
Mhm.
early on. We went to buy our first building. It was just the three of us, and it was me, you, and Chad. And, we were like, oh, we're going to get this loan from
Oh, yeah.
Chase, and it's going to be no big deal. And Chase goes out to do it's kind of like an appraisal, but it's not a full appraisal. And they're like, no, you're buying a building that's in horrible condition. And we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we know. We're going to fix it up. And they're like, yeah, no, we're not going to, do a loan for you. So I think that, and then at each building, as we've been doing, like, you're learning more and more about financing. There's different bridge loan debt, depending on what your game plan is, what you can get
Yeah.
based on that. Like when we want to go in and evict a whole building and remodel all the units, well, we can't use bridge lenders that are going to be more reasonable on their interest rates. We have to really, truly use a hard money lender is really what it is, private capital, right?
Mhm.
So all of those things. And then when you go to refinance out of it, do you want a 3-year, a 5-year, a 10-year loan? Do you want interest only on part of it? All of these things affect your interest rate, affect your loan amount and proceeds that you're going to get. So that's the part for me that I feel like I was not well educated on as I
Mhm.
am now. That would have been really helpful to have known early on.
Yeah. No, for sure. And you're not expected to know all that information in the beginning. You learn it, as you go. But the one important piece of that is that you have the right team behind you. Mark Schillinger's been a godsend
Right.
to us. And I mean, that's what he does day in, day out, and really has been a blessing. I think the biggest mistake that we made early on was on herbs, the construction management, which is on me, where we had all these, instead of finishing a bank of units, maybe
Yeah.
5 or 10 units, trying to get them all kind of done at the same time.
Yeah, worrying about the eviction process more than we needed to.
Yeah, and we
Like-
let a lot of tenants go when we should have just waited and just remodeled a
Yep.
batch, and then we ended up having them all ready in November.
Which is a horrible time to have vacant units ready to
Yeah.
rent.
So, and now, just like I said earlier, I mean, once spring hit, people are starting to look to move. They kind of
Mhm.
want to get ready for the summer,
Yeah.
schools in and out, and so
Yeah, you go
timing.
from renting literally 1 unit a month to 10 in March.
Yeah.
And so basically November, December, January, it's pointless. So like, if you got one unit you're going to remodel because someone moved out, fine, whatever,
Yeah,
no
you got
big
to do
deal.
it.
But if you're planning a big project like
Yeah.
how we did, like you don't want those units to be ready to go in the middle of November.
Mm-mm.
I mean, and this is like even in residential, we know it's like if you can avoid listing the closer you get to Thanksgiving, it's better to just wait until,
Right.
things don't really start to pick up even in residential until February.
Yeah. So I'll get this one to start and then you can add on. What does the stress behind bridge loans and refinancing actually feel like? For me, it is, and Marissa handles it better than I do, but it is stressful. A lot of things have to happen. A lot of things have to go right. The business plan needs to be executed, construction timelines. The city throws in curveballs with permit. Edison's a nightmare. Just so you know, if you're going underground on your ADUs, it's 10 to 12 months for Edison start to finish. And there's not, that I've found, ways really around that. So you just have to plan accordingly. So if you're going to do a big project and you do a 2-year loan, you're going to be right up to it. So you make sure you have extensions or try to get that loan when you're getting the loan. Maybe get a longer period, maybe 2.5 years with another extension.
Speaking of which, so does that mean you're on top of it for Warwick?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that but the feeling of it, like for me, so totally opposite. I think it's super exciting. I get like all excited, like we executed the business plan the way I like saw it going, or
Yeah.
maybe something like happened a little different. And I'm like, well, how's this going to play out? And how do the numbers work? And what's the return? So like Danny and I are on polar opposite ends on this one.
Yeah.
Danny is walking around like he's got like a 500-pound gorilla on his back and just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then I'm like, I wonder what interest rate we're going to get. I wonder if we're getting IO. I wonder if who's going to want our loan? Like, it's so the opposite. I'm just like, numbers.
I'm
This
just
is
like,
so fun.
get me to that I calm down when we refinance into permanent financing, then I can chill.
Yeah. No, you
So.
definitely.
All right, final 5.
Okay.
This is a good question. And then you just
We're
answer.
doing lightning round now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
lightning round, short.
why are we really doing this?
The kids.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Also, it's way more, it's intellectually stimulating.
Very much so. The next question. What are we building for our kids? A legacy. I mean, that they can pass on. I mean, this could turn into, generational wealth for them.
That's what I was going to say. Generational wealth.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're trying to set them up.
Yeah.
And give them a big head start.
Yeah. What is the hardest year for us so far, and what did we learn from it?
The hardest year so far was nothing to do with any of this, and was back in 2008 to 2009 to 2010, I would say. It was actually the hardest 2 years, was the Great Recession. And me going from making 6 figures to $7,000 in 1 year.
Yeah.
And Danny being a Fed firefighter and working construction and all of it. Like, that was the hardest time in our lives.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Nothing this doesn't even compare to that.
Yeah. So it's just, what does winning actually look like for us? For me is executing the business plans that we put forth, building something for ourselves and our kids, and then, but also all of our investors, like having them win. Like, there's nothing, I mean, but people give us large amounts of money, and there's nothing that's going to be more rewarding than returning them their money, plus, the projections that we had for them, and having them win too.
Yeah, I would say winning to me is when a client tells me that they're able to drive their kids by a building and say, I own that building. Like, I love that. I think it just opens up your children to just a world that they thought was out of reach for them. And so that's what winning looks like for me.
Yeah, I love it. All right, last one for you. If someone was starting from zero, what would we tell them?
I would tell them to find a mentor and listen to everything they say and not try to create something new,
Yeah.
but try to follow in their footsteps.
Good. All right. That was definitely real.
Yep.
I think
We're still
people
here. We're still standing.
I think people see the wins, but this is really everything behind it. Did you have fun with this episode?
Yes, sir.
All right. So to everyone listening, if you got value from this, please share it with someone, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for watching
Thank you.
and listening.